Good morning, YouTube. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to show you what we do on a daily basis in our business.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
A couple of you have said, hey, show us what you guys do for your business or what the business side of things are like. So that's what we're going to do. If you're new to the channel, my name is Dan and we are at my dealership NG Supercars, and today we're going to just kind of bring you along with me as we have a kind of normal day, I guess, although there's no such thing as a normal day here. So let's start off. It's Wednesday, which means we're gonna go watch some auctions. So the auction starts at 9:30. Oh, we got 5 minutes. It's 9:25. I need to go browse through, see what cars are interesting to us, see if there's anything that we want to actually bid on. Probably not. Maybe 1 in 10 auctions we might buy something. We're pretty picky. We don't buy a whole lot of cars at auction. Most of the cars we buy are from individuals, and we prefer it that way because, well, you get the chance to talk to people and get a feel of whether or not it's the right car and all that stuff. So anyway, we have to do some errands today. We gotta take a look at my Scud, although I'll talk about that in a minute. So let's start off with the auctions. So we're gonna hop on into the office, fire up the old computer, and see what we see coming up today at the Dallas auctions. Now I'm not gonna kind of show you everything I'm doing, but we're watching the Dallas auctions on Manheim. I really don't give a shit about anything other than cars, so I don't care about SUVs. I'm just gonna kind of sort by when they're actually running because I want to make sure I don't miss anything, right? We're gonna browse through all these cars and I'm gonna bookmark everything that I want to take a look at, and then we'll kind of go through it after I get everything kind of queued up. So give me a second. It'll probably take me at least a half hour. 1,179 vehicles I want to look through. So what I'm doing is just kind of browsing through as quickly as I can, seeing anything that catches my eye. Ugh, that thing's horrible. We're pretty specific about cars. Like, we won't buy things that have accidents unless it's for some reason like a screaming deal. We just don't want to deal with it. We're too small to have cars that are a pain in the ass to deal with. Every time we get a car that's a pain in the ass, we ended up losing our ass or something like that. Gotta be able to look really quickly. I mean, the vast majority of all this stuff is like regular old cars. What I do first is I just queue up any cars that I find of interest. Put them in a separate tab. Oh, an old STI wagon. Hell yeah. See, now that's a cool car. Although its CR is 1.9 and it has 112,000 miles. Yeah. So I actually kind of group everything together by their run lane. Lane 20 is usually our bread and butter. That's got all the exotics and stuff. Not to say that exotics don't show up in other ones, but that's the stuff that we really like. Now this is what's interesting, is this week they happen to have some really cool old stuff. So like right here is a 93 Cobra with only 500 miles on it. Another 93 Cobra with only 11,000 miles on it. Alright YouTube, this is what we have to deal with the auction. It's absolutely insane. So they show the car here, the bid's here, what's up next. So this is lane 20, this is the one that has all of our good stuff. And you can see it goes quick. I don't know, they still have the traditional like blah, 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 blah person. I guess it's sort of helpful. You can just mute it, or I have it very, very quiet. And the only reason I have it at any volume at all is just because then you can kind of tell when they're about to actually sell it. Here's what we got. A AMG GTR, 15,000 miles. Here's what they think it's worth wholesale. You click on that and it shows what they think it can get retail. So you can see it's saying we probably can buy it around 126 and probably sell it at 129. So a $3,000 margin. That doesn't sound very appealing to us. So basically, unless we can get that car at like 110, we don't want to buy it. 115 or so, because we're gonna have to pay $1,000, $1,500 in fees and some other stuff. Luckily, this one's in Dallas, so we could actually physically go get it. We don't have to pay for transport. But it makes it so we're not making a whole lot of money on that car very quickly. It shows the condition of the car. It says the front bumper cover's broken. It probably needs new tires, 5 30-seconds. I wonder if they got a picture of the busted bumper cover. Let's see that. Problem with this hell green Magno is if it's got a scratch, you really can't fix it very easily. They're not going to show the bumper. Okay, so we don't know exactly what's wrong with this car. But anyway, they say that that's the only thing wrong with it, but then they gave it a 4.3, so something else is up with this car. It's definitely not that good. A Mustang Cobra 93 with only 500 miles on it. That's crazy. One owner. Wow. Yeah, this is a seriously good collector's car. It's gonna go for some big bucks. Another Mustang Cobra with only 11,500 miles. This one's got 5 owners, so a little different. Still got the original wheels and all that stuff. And a 74 BMW i3, that thing's just badass. I don't know anything about it, I just think it's cool. Got an old Mustang. I was thinking to myself, man, I would love to buy like an old Mustang like this. Not a good one. That's the thing. This one's too good. Like a crappy one, and just turn it into like a road racing car. That'd be fun. Another old Mustang. Again, just this one's kind of molested a little bit, so it might be more interesting to do something like that too. Just turn it into like a road car, but ooh, the interior is way too nice. So I don't want to do that to that thing. Hey, look, a Murcielago. It says it's a manual. I bet it's not. And it's not. See, look at it. It says manual, but no, it's not. That was the only reason I was interested. And it has an accident. So 5 owners, 1 accident. How can they say clean Carfax if it's got an accident? They're dumb. So that's the thing. Everyone's a liar. Everyone lies about everything at the auction. So you have to be super careful. Oh, another Cobra. Only 3,000 miles on it. Oh shit, no, sorry. It's a Cobra R. Oh my god. That thing's gotta be worth a boatload. Holy crap. And another Cobra R with 1,400 miles. I think they bought a collection. Whoever had this, really, damn. And a 71 Nova. I only looked at this because I had a 71 Nova when I was younger. I think they're cool. 0 Ferraris, 0 cars really of interest today. That's just the one lane. Here we go. We got an STI. I'll take a look at that. A Focus RS hatch. Now that is cool. I actually kind of want this. 2 owners. So we're at number 21. The car isn't until 165, so we got a while. So I got some time to do some research on that car. Problem with Subarus is, I swear to God, they're always just beat up. They're always just trashed. Like some kid gets them and just trashes them. So you gotta be really careful on the Subarus. Alright, so I went through all the cars of interest, got rid of about half of them because of accidents or just stuff that we don't want to deal with. So we're down to only a handful of cars now. So now it's just the waiting game of waiting until their auction comes up, which can take quite a while. So I guess in the meantime, I've got some other business stuff to take care of. I got to call my accountant. We need to get some documentation and stuff for our bank loan. I'm getting offers on the Scud. Stuff's moving, just kind of typical stuff, dealing with text messages, DMs on it, on Facebook, phone calls, the usual. It's kind of boring, honestly. Most of the time our stuff's boring, but then it gets really exciting really quick, so just watch. It'll happen. I'm pretty sure it'll happen. It'll get exciting later. So while I'm waiting for the auctions to come up, I'm reading some of the highly intelligent Facebook posts about my Scud for sale. So I listed the Scud last night, and listing a salvage car gets you a ton of comments, mostly negative. This is the joys of trying to sell a salvage car. I listed it for $175,000, which I actually believe is spot on for the price. I think that's exactly where it should be. After all the work we did to it, I'm basically not making any money around that price, hardly anything. I think it's very fair. It's about $75,000 to $100,000 off the price of what it would be if it were clean title. All these people are like, hey, I want to see pre-accident pictures. Okay, no problem sending them. Like this. This car could have 20 miles. It's been crashed and fixed. It's not worth $175K, folks. I mean, come on. Mine is perfect clean and not worth that. This is gated, clean, 10K miles, Scud money. Knock it off for Christ's sake already. What is this guy talking about? Gated? I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about. He's a dumbass. So that's the thing. I have to deal with dumbasses, right? Keep dreaming, way overpriced, okay? Buyer at $74,900. $150K wire ready. Oh, at least we're sort of getting close, but still. The problem with those people that say some low number, wire ready, we've called them out before. They never actually have the money. 0 times have they ever come through. This has my name written all over it. Cool. Another guy, this is the Scud I was telling you about. Okay, cool. Great price. Hey, look, someone actually thing. Rebuilt title 174K. No comment. Well, then why'd you comment? If you have no comment, then don't comment. Why not spend the extra $75K and get a clean title Scud and have it maintain value? That's $75,000. That's a lot of money. Almost 50% more money. Oh man, it's white Scud, so tempted. Well, there you go. That's cool. By the way, I made it very clear that this thing is a salvage. Like, I didn't try to hide that fact or anything. I like this. Rebuilt, as if I was not putting that. I'm in at 125. Great. A lot of people would be. No. I like this one. Fuck me. If people knew anything about cars, nobody would want this. But most people don't know nothing about cars. This is just a beautiful ornament in the garage. I'm not sure about that one. Trade for McLaren 720. Okay, I'm up for that. I guess cheap is a relative term. Yes, I mean, it's a cheap Scud. That doesn't mean it's cheap, period. It was exciting till I got to salvage title, 125K car. Cool, bro. That's just what I said to all the non-believers. Insane if someone would even pay close to 175K for it. People are dumb. Wall hanger? Not even sure what that means. 175, no chance. 125 is what this car is. Keep going. Vinny Tra, or Vinny Anatra. Anyway, that guy, that YouTuber, he's interested. We're talking. He might want to trade his 360 in on it. Problem with that's going to be, we can get cars converted for cheap, so he's not going to like my number, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is the joys of selling a salvage car. This is kind of what you got to deal with. So if you're selling a salvage car, just accept it. It's annoying. It's dumb. People are dumb. I love all the people who are throwing out numbers, and none of them have that money. So they're just talking out of their ass. All right, we've got about 30 minutes until the first auction of interest comes up. So let me show you what's going on with the Scud. So it's got a secondary air injection check engine light. And it's weird because it says both sides, both left and right side. And so I don't think it's one of the secondary air valves. There's like a little valve that opens and closes when you first turn on the secondary air pump. I don't think that's it because it's doing both sides. So my initial thought was it was the secondary air pump itself, which is right here. So we pulled that thing out yesterday and we bench tested it. I just put some power to it and it does turn on and it spins. So I don't feel like that's the problem. I feel like it must be electrical, so it's just not turning on at all. The problem is we can't find any of the documentation on the Scud specific relays and fuses and stuff. So we checked every single fuse in the entire car and they're all good. So we think we have a bad relay, and so we bought a relay tester. It should be here in a day or two. And I also just bought a ton of relays. So I might just end up replacing like all of the relays in the car or all of the electrical relays because they're pretty cheap. They're a couple bucks each. Screw it, replace them all, have it be happy. Also yesterday we fixed the trim. This trim was all gnarly, if you recall. We got that fixed. That looks much better. Cleaned up the car a little bit more. Fixed, readjusted the bumper and everything. So we got things to be a little bit better looking, so it's at least in a more sellable condition. The other thing that we gotta do today is at some point, we're gonna take the GT3 and take it to another dealership. So we have that car sold. It's being sold wholesale to another dealer, and then that dealer is selling it to someone. Whatever, the car's going away. We needed to get rid of it. It's been here too long. We're losing our ass on that car. We're losing like $14,000, $15,000 on it. So bye-bye, good riddance. Oh, yep, I don't have the lights on in here. Forgot about that, sorry. And then finally, the other thing is if we have time, we wanted to do a Mustang Cobra versus new Mustang GT350 video. The GT350 is crammed in there. I'm gonna have to move around like 4 or 5 cars to get it out. The joys of a dealership, right? We do spend an inordinate amount of time moving cars around. Oh, and you're probably wondering about this Jag. The Jag. So apparently this is Josh's father-in-law's, and he wants Josh to fix it up and then sell it for him or something like that. It's leaking oil and all sorts of other things and needs to get fixed up. It's a Jag. That's what you expect. Oh, and the Mercedes is back, the Silver Arrow. So Josh had some work done to it, had it aligned and some other things, and it's much better condition now. So that's also for sale. And of course, we're trying to find more cars to convert and buy. So we're always in the hunt for Ferraris, but right now there's just like no Ferraris for sale. It's just nothing. Crickets, man. So while I'm waiting for the next auction, there's always something to do to this building, I swear to God. So there's like a crap ton of leaves. Got my leaf blower. We're gonna clean up the driveway because it looks like shit.
941, 943, 944, or 945, including federal tax deposit requirements and penalties, press or say 1. If you have a balance due and want to discuss payment options, press or say 2. For all other
IRS. Oops. Crap.
You must make a selection. We are unable to process your response.
So I got 2 letters from the IRS. That's one thing they didn't tell you about running a business, how many things you get from the IRS. At first it would freak me out. I'm like, oh my God, the IRS sent me something. And now I'm just like, oh, It's another letter from the IRS. Anyway, I have to call them again. All right, YouTube, we're watching the cars go that we're interested in.
I wish we could afford it.
Yeah, it's getting up there in price where it's just not worth it anymore. It's at $77,000. I mean, it's still worth probably close to 100, 500 miles, but it's gonna be a pain in the ass to sell that car. Anyway, there's a bunch of good stuff, so we'll see if we get anything. Well, YouTube didn't get anything. Not a shock. All right, so we need to get the GT3 out because it's going to be sold today. So we gotta jostle cars around and all sorts of stuff. Bust on the auction. Boo.
There were a few cars that we should have got maybe, but it's kind of risky.
The problem is, like, when you're bidding on a car that you don't know much about the car, it's a big gamble. So we didn't really want to risk too much. All right, YouTube. So Josh is buffing stuff. And we got the GT3 is gone. Finally. Ding dong, the witch is dead. That car was just cursed for us. Hopefully it behaves great for the new owner. I wish them no harm.
It was a great car.
It was a great car, but it just, everything about it was just cursed from our experience. We had multiple buyers back out, all this just dumb crap happen. So we didn't win anything at the auction. I don't have the parts for my Scud, so I'm waiting on that. We actually had a viewer of the channel stop by, and so he was in town for something and asked if he could swing by, so we just got done with chatting with him, had lunch together, dropped off the GT3. Oh, I gotta do some paperwork. I gotta fill out paperwork for the sale of the GT4, because that gets sold in 3 days. So we have a deposit on that car, so it's going bye-bye. So yeah, this is a typical day, just randomness, right? Lots of random stuff. Once I'm done with the paperwork, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Something.
Well,
There's always something.
It's 4:30 already, so probably go home.
Jeez. I can't believe it's already 4:30. Days go by quick here. All right, just finished up paperwork. Josh is moving around cars. I think he wanted more room to be able to work on it. So he's kind of put it in the middle, move the Ferrari over there. One of our long-term customers, he just sent me a message. This is the weird world of supercars. His car was in storage. He pulls out of storage and was hooking up to a trickle charger at home and realized the battery, he had bought an anti-gravity from us. The storage facility stole his battery. They stole his anti-gravity battery and threw a regular interstate battery in. What kind of shitbag person does that? I think it kind of does it for the day. It's already 5 something, but yeah, here's a typical day for us. It's running around doing shit and listening to Summer of '69. Yeah, we're on an 80 stint right now. Anyway, like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. We're gonna do a lot of cool car stuff. You're gonna want to stay tuned. It's gonna be sweet.